Many things happen in your life that shouldn't. The black spot that grew into cancer, the subcompact that just could not wait to meet you. Maybe things do happen for a reason, but that reason is stupid. Maybe your brother fell out of a window only because he's an asshole. I love you, but I can't keep letting you show up where I am and remind me of what I said to you all those times I was drunk that one time. Most of them were just hurtful nonsense, but I am proud of, you are like a comet! Every so often you come around to fuck up my shit! Which is a real thing I said that I'm not sorry for. Alright, poem turns now, it gets serious. Okay. Alright, in a perfect world, all the towns in Illinois would be named Blood, so I could no longer pick out yours on a map. When you're dumb enough for long enough, you're gonna meet someone too smart to love you, and they're gonna love you anyway, and it's gonna go so poorly. It must be odd for our mutual friends who like me more, but think you were right. To say I hate you would imply a world in which I kissed more than your stomach. Look, we've established that I'm a jerk, so let me say this. I'm a flat tire and you are a pothole full of lug nuts. I'm a pile of bricks and you are holding a sledgehammer, which is to say, I would not exist without you. It's impossible to imagine a color you haven't seen. I can't call my mother because she makes me panic. When I say I'm crying, what I really mean is that I want to cry but can't. Instead of dying, the jellyfish simply ceases to move. Glass moves like any other liquid, but slower. Sex is another way of communicating with your body, like self-harm or sign language. I complete 5 crosswords a day because it stops the panic. Trucks are downshifting on Main Street. Most of what I do to stop the panic, and I require things outside my head because they all seem so far away. Hair is partially composed of cyanide. Napalm is just gasoline and plastic. I am just carbon and bad timing. If I were someone else, I think I'd still be mentally ill. It's impossible to imagine a color you haven't seen. There's a fire somewhere downriver, just a thin arm of gray reaching up from the river flats. I'd call it a smoke signal if I were the kind of white person who said that kind of shit. The Lake Street Bridge always gives me vertigo. The water probably isn't that far away. You can sort of see the expressions of the people on the boats below you. If you dropped a rock onto the sand, it wouldn't make too deep a hole, I guess. I gotta go home now, but I'm sitting outside my old home. So when does home emerge from just a place where I put all my stuff? The new house is where I do all my living, so I guess the old house is where I'm dead. I've been saying all that so I didn't have to say this. It's too easy to jump off a bridge or take some pills. No, actually, you gotta walk to the bridge so no one tows your mom's car. You gotta buy or steal the pills. Mostly, it's too easy to go without saying goodbye. Yes, there is a place where someone loves you both before and after they learn what you are. That place is called the world, and if you want to live, it's really the only option. You could choose not to, but then where would you get really great sandwiches? Or listen to Springsteen with the windows down. When you want to cry, you'll have to just not. Yes, people will miss you, but if you've wanted to kill yourself for a while, you've heard that too much, and it no longer means anything. Goodbye isn't a strong enough word, but fuck off forever isn't always what I mean. Listen, if I joke about wanting to kill myself, that means I don't want to do it. Start worrying when I only talk about brunch and dog breeds. Start worrying whenever you want, really. I'm not your boss. I don't know why I asked my phone how to get home from here, but I guess it's nice when someone else agrees with me. Google says it'll take 3 minutes. Home is where I most comfortably have my panic attacks. When I get home, I get to stay there. I get to sleep, then I get to, if I want to, do this all again. Hey girl, what's up? I smell terrible and I can't stop eating cheese. Ain't no party like an anxiety party, because an anxiety party might kill you! Hi, my name is Neil. I have feelings professionally, and you should... It's true, it's what I do, that's what I'm doing. All right, great. And you should never introduce me to your best friend, because I will definitely fall in love with her too. Also what I do. All right. You ever spend 3 straight days crying in bed because you realize that everyone you ever really loved you hurt horribly, and that they probably would be better off if they never even met you? Bro! You ever eat an enchilada, think about it all day, and then realize you might be depressed? Hey, I have athlete's foot, and I just found out what a hedge fund is. Want a party? What's up, ladies? I'm 6 foot 1 inch. Those are 2 different measurements. I lied to you. I'm 5'10". Okay. God damn it. All right, I'm not saying that dating me is like adopting a stray cat, cleaning it, feeding it, giving it somewhere warm to sleep, and making it generally safe and happy, only to have it leave one day for no apparent reason, but I might be saying that. I'm not saying I've never been in love, but I am saying that I have a gigantic collection of replica swords, so you be the judge. If you ever made a bunch of pasta, way overcooked it, but eaten it anyway because you're tired and you just want to go to sleep, that's basically what it's like to have sex with me. Some layers to that. All right. Good job, Hilborn. Okay. Hello, my name is Neil, and also hail Satan. I'm essentially the wood paneling of people. I'm hideous on the outside, and what's underneath is almost certainly more fucked up. And finally, if you took all the love letters I've ever written and you built a house out of them, you would have a shitty house built on lies. Thank you. Listen here, you little shits. You are growing up in one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Everything here is all decked out elk and the imperial majesty of winter, and you, ingrate children of the snow, spend all your time in classes, learning about things that will teach you nothing about ice skating on the bones of your enemies, or lighting moose on fire, or felling fir trees the beaver way, or how to make friends in a blizzard, which is with a shovel. What I'm saying is, it's beautiful as a mushroom cloud out there, and by the time your grandchildren can enjoy it, it's all going to be a tepid ocean anyway. So whatever you do, put some of it inside your head before it's gone. It's all yours, you little bastards. It's all yours. I can no longer hide the way I feel. Cats suck. See, I fucking told you! I told you I shouldn't do this! I just gasped like, I'm leaving right now, so I'm real sorry. You're gonna hate the next Minute and 15 seconds, all right? Cool? Great, just close your ears. Cat's the worst. All right, cats are proof that Satan exists and wants us to suffer. Cats are like if a cuddlier animal, say a rabbit or a shark, were very intent on breaking all of your shit. Cats poop in a box, walk on the poop, and then walk on your kitchen counter, case closed. Wait, I'm not done. Dogs have been known to call 911 for their owners. Your cat that you love, would watch you bleed out because it's curious what your face tastes like. Your cat is the best thing that happens in your day. Your cat is the best thing that happens in your cat's day. If Cats had a theme song, it would be Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. Your cat, I assume its name is some shit like Waffles or Pookie, resents what you named it. Your cat calls itself Balthazarius, eater of hearts and fucker of mothers. Also a dumb joke. Okay. Well, your cat calls itself Meow, but that's neither here nor is it there. Listen, the point is, fuck your cat. And fuck you. All right. The first time I saw her, everything in my head went quiet. All the tics, all the constantly refreshing images just disappeared. When you have obsessive-compulsive disorder, you don't really get quiet moments. Even in bed, I'm thinking, the doctor, yes, the watchman's yes, the doctor, yes, the watchman's yes. And when I saw her, the only thing I could think about was the hairpin curve of her lips, or the eyelash on her cheek, the eyelash on her cheek, the eyelash on her cheek. I knew I had to talk to her. Asked her out 6 times in 30 seconds. She said yes after the 3rd one, but none of them felt right, so I had to keep going. On our first date, I spent more time organizing my meal by color than I did eating or talking to her. But she loved it. She loved that I had to kiss her goodbye 16 times, or 24 times if it was Wednesday. She loved that it took us forever to walk home because there are lots of cracks on our sidewalk. When we moved in together, she said she felt safe, like no one would ever rob us because I definitely locked the door 18 times. I'd always watch her mouth when she talked, when she talked, when she talked, when she talked, when she talked. When she said she loved me, her mouth would curl up at the edges. At night, she'd lay in bed and watch me turn all the lights off and on and 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 off. She'd close her eyes and imagine that days and nights were just passing in front of her. Some mornings, I'd start kissing her goodbye, but she'd just leave because I was making her late for work. When I stopped at a crack in the sidewalk, she kept walking. When she said she loved me, her mouth was a straight line. She told me I was taking up too much of her time. Last week, she started sleeping at her mother's place. She told me she shouldn't have let me get so attached to her. This whole thing was a mistake, but how can it be a mistake that I don't have to wash my hands after I touch her? Love is not a mistake. It's killing me that she can run away from this, and I just can't. I can't go out and find someone new because I always think of her. Usually, when I obsess over things, I see germs sneaking into my skin. I see myself crushed by an endless succession of cars, and she was the first beautiful thing I ever got stuck on. I want to wake up every morning, think about the way she holds her steering wheel, how she turns shower knobs like she's opening a safe, how she blows out candles, 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 blows out... Now, I just think about who else is kissing her. I can't breathe because he only kisses her once. He doesn't care if it's perfect. I want her back so bad. I leave the door unlocked. I leave the lights on. The hard part, probably, is admitting that I really can't handle it anymore. I can't just hire someone to take care of the 2-year-old unpaid parking tickets. I threw money at my loneliness, and all I got were friends who think of drunk driving as a sport. I stared at my phone for so long that I grew a glass face. First you say you feel nothing, then your eyes start to agree with you, then one day someone you love probably cries in front of you and your only thought is, when is dinner? There's only one way left to talk about being sad that won't make me more sad. I'm so sad I jumped off a bridge and missed. I'm so sad one time I called my therapist Mom. I've made enough jokes about killing myself that I'm starting to think they're funny. Every time I say goodbye, I find myself adding forever because who knows when it will be true. The text message is a light bulb on a bad wire. I start typing and the ellipses flicker. If I say delete, if I delete, the filament pops and the whole light sleeps. Tomorrow is the least I have to sign every morning. Get me a carrier pigeon. Fire up the old telegraph. Open the window and let me shout for help. Something is burning. Bring water. Bring water. I'm so sad. I fell in love with hands and a row of teeth. I'm so sad I line up the knives and stare at them until one of them speaks. Where's the bad part? How do I carve it out? By now, is it all rot? Joey always told me, laughing as though it were actually a joke, that he wanted to kill himself, but it was never the right time. There were always groceries to be bought and little brothers to be tucked in at night. Don't worry, Joey isn't going to kill himself 20 more seconds into this poem. That's not the kind of story I'm telling here. Joey got a promotion, and now he can afford antidepressants. Joey is Joe now. Joe is a cold engine in which none of the parts complain. Joe is a brick someone made out of fossils. If you removed money from the equation, Joey would have been painting elk on cave walls. People would have fed him and kept him away from high places, because look at those elk. I think that the genes for being an artist and mentally ill aren't just related, they're the same gene, but try telling that to a bill collector. We were 17, and I drove us all to punk shows in a station wagon older than any of us. We were 17, and I bought lunch for Joey more often than I didn't. We were 17, and the one time Joey tried to talk to me about being depressed when someone else was around, I told him to shut the hell up and asked if he needed to change his tampon. You know that moment when the cartoon realizes he's taken 3 steps off the cliff. He takes a long look at the audience like we're holding the last moving box in a half-empty house. Joey looked like that without a puff of smoke. Just played video games for a half hour and then went home. Once, I caught Joey in my dad's office, staring at the safe where he knew he kept the guns. Once, Joey molded his car into the shape of a tree trunk and refused to give a reason why. I once caught Joey in biology class, staring at his scalpel like he wanted to be the frog, splayed out, wide open, so honest. There's one difference between me and Joey. When we got arrested, bail money was waiting for me at the station. When I was hungry, I ate. When I wanted to open myself up and see if there really were bees rattling around in there, my parents got me a therapist. I can pinpoint the session that brought me back to the world. That session cost cost $75. $75 is 2 weeks of groceries. It's a month of bus fare. It's not even a school year's worth of new shoes. It took weeks of $75 to get to the one that saved my life. We were that parent that believed us. We said we weren't okay, but mine could afford to do something about it. I wonder how many kids like Joey wanted to die and were unlucky enough to actually pull it off. How many kids have people who cared about them, but also had to pay rent. I'm so lucky that right now I'm not describing Joey's funeral. I'm so lucky we all lived through who we were to become who we are. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Thanks, man. I've been hearing that the world is ending. I've heard it so much these days that I can either completely ignore it or never leave my house again. That is, if I actually left my house for things that don't directly enable me to keep my house. See, I've been thinking about driving nowhere. I've been thinking about becoming a box inside a locked room, inside a dark house at the dark end of the street. I want to go away until I'm gone. It takes so much less energy to not exist than it does to exist and get burned. I've been burned so much, I'm not me anymore. I'm a stupid puppet version of me. I got strings that lead to nowhere. Nothing is pulling on me. I wish someone would drag my hand out of hiding and sign my name on the dotted line. There are days when I can't find the sun, even though it's right outside my window. When getting out of bed feels like the key in the doomsday machine. So on those days, this is what I tell myself. Whatever you're feeling right now, there's a mathematical certainty that someone else is feeling that exact thing. This is not to say you aren't special. This is to say, thank God you aren't special. I too have kissed no one goodnight. I've launched myself from tall places and hoped no one would catch me. I've ended relationships because suddenly I was also exposed, but isolation is not safety, it's death. If no one knows you're alive, you aren't. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, it does make a sound, but then that sound is gone. I'm not saying you'll find the meaning of life in other people. I'm saying other people are the life to which you provide the meaning. See, we're wrong when we say, I think, therefore I am. The more we say it, the more it sounds like, I think, therefore I will be. You can't think your way into a full table. You can't think and make walls and a roof appear around you. I have thought and thought myself into corners made of words and nightmares, and what has it gotten me but more thoughts? A currency that only buys more currency. So please, if you want to continue existing, do something. Learn to make clouds using only your breath. Build a house, even if every wall leans to the left. Love it anyway, just like a season, just like a child. Love how you hate yourself sometimes, because at least there's still something to hate. I know how easy it can be to think and keep thinking until you are the last person left on earth, until the entire world becomes no larger than the space between your bed and the light switch. But I hear the world's ending soon, and we go, and we're all gonna go. I will be part of it. Thank you. So, because of the chemical imbalance, I don't really experience joy. There's no bright morning in a bright summer. What strong river or arm of wind. The moments when they do arrive on their slow boats fall apart as soon as the light touches them. Always it's in a car, always the windows down, always the music too loud. It's never apparent that none of us can sing. We're all bad singers. The way cotton candy falls to its knees at just the suggestion of rain. Someone's drunk. Okay. The way cotton candy falls to its knees at just the suggestion of rain is the only thing I've found to describe remembering after you've just been happy, all the things that make you less alive. So, this is the stone at the bottom of the hill. This is the sapling, and then later the chainsaw. I have no reason to be here again. Windows down, ears beginning to ring. There's nowhere to go, and I'll be damned if I ever get there. Henry was my pet rat, and he died last night in my hands. He was, to be honest, not a very smart animal, but he was so sweet that now I wonder if intelligence has anything to do with leading a good life. He'd been sick for a few months, and every 12 hours I had to rub antiseptic and lotion on both his back feet. But at the end, it didn't really work anymore, so he would just drag his feet behind him in a way so cute and sad, I started calling him my little sea lion. When he died, it was, somehow, a surprise. You would think that when your rat is older than dirt and has been sick for months, you'd be sort of prepared. After I laid out the towel and mixed the solution, I picked him up and noticed his breathing was so slow. I lay down with him on the towel where we spent the last few months, where I think we finally really completely loved each other. Not like humans do. Humans always want something from you, and he and I would just rather be together than apart, and I pulled him toward me, and he chittered in that way that always meant he was wind coming in after a rain. His head fell forward, and there was so much less light in the room. The lamp was so far away, like the light of a house to which there is no road. I know, he was just a rat. So many just like him, all white, red eyes, die every day, and only one or two people in white coats are even there to see it. He was all in white. He was always there to see me. When I would wake from a nightmare, so many nightmares, I'd turn on the light, and there he was, holding on, a constant companion to a prisoner, the prison being the apartment, the world being inside his cage. Once, I was crying in bed because of who knows why, and he sat beside my face and licked my tears away. I had a rat once, named Henry, named Buddy, named Mr. Big Mouse, named Proof Something Could Need Me and Still Love Me, or Please Can I Have Some of Your Apple, or I know you're sad but I'm hungry, don't go, if you go I won't survive. A child reaches for her father, a couple buried in ash dies holding each other, a man and a woman in an office crying slightly signed sheets of paper, sparrows fall out of the sky together. Someday I'm gonna have a child. She's gonna have eyes like mine and such small hands. Just like she'll need me alive then, she needs me alive now. I don't stare off bridges anymore. I don't count out little blue exit signs. And even today, with Henry buried under a tree somewhere so far away, it feels like someone else buried him using my body. Today, I came home and I only wanted to sleep for 20 minutes instead of always. Something needed me once, and I know something will need me again. One day, I'm gonna have a daughter. She's gonna sleep through the night sometimes. She's a light on a rock at the edge of a lonely sea. You see that light up there? That's where I'm headed. That's home. Mark is the kind of guy who, given the opportunity, would never lock his car. If you've ever driven 2 blocks farther than you meant to and parked because you're good there, that's Mark. Mark has a spare room, and I'm sleeping in it until I know exactly how apart everything is going to fall. Mark says I can stay as long as I need, and I believe him, but also I'm cleaning each plate immediately after I use it. Everything stays in my room, and I play with his cat at every opportunity. I need to replace his shampoo soon. I'd be totally fucked if it weren't for Mark, but he knows, so I don't have to tell him. If you ever need someone to drive you to a firing squad, ask Mark. He's the kind of guy who, when he says you'll be fine, is probably right. The end isn't coming soon, just what's next, and Mark's gonna be there, turning the record over, raising the middle finger, keeping the car running. You dumb, sweaty idiot. My collar is fraying, and there's a condom in my inside pocket. You know the one, the condom pocket. You ever heard of a washing machine? I'd like to be in one. Put me in one for a year, bro. You can't just use me as your security blanket and then decide it's okay to live in filth. Filth is not secure, you dumb dummy. I could be covered in patches of pyramid studs. I could be a blanket for a pit bull. If I'm gonna be dirty all the time, I should at least be badass. I should be inspiring, even if only of fear and nausea, but no! I gotta go with you to Kansas City or Northern Wales. Okay, so, I'm not trying to talk a bunch of shit, alright? So the first show of this tour was in Wrexham, and it was a lovely show, right? So much fun, the crowd was fucking awesome, I had an incredible time, you know, and I didn't know anything, but then, I got here, and so y'all had this lovely TV program called Night Cops, and I've seen 3 episodes of Night Cops in which Wrexham is featured 7 times. So that's why the joke about Northern Wales. All right, I gotta wait for you in your bag when you get too warm, and I'll wait until the stitches burst and it all falls off, because I love you, stupid. I do. I can't not. Come here. Let me hold you. The worst thing about being naked and then being hit by a car is that road rash is a problem for skin. Why was I naked in the middle of the road at noon? I'm glad you asked. Imaginary other half of this conversation, I have no idea. Some characteristics of bipolar disorder can include dissociation, hallucinations, and fugue states. So sometimes I wake up in places I didn't go to sleep. So there I am, nude, splayed out on the hood of a car like a slutty chicken, and I'm screaming about the government conspiracy to take away my feet. Not my real feet, just my brain feet. And I'm about 6 inches away from the concrete when I realize, in slow motion, like the exact opposite of a rhinoceros attack, this is not how I imagined my life would turn out. When I was little, I broke both my ankles jumping off a roof because I was sure a cape would enable me to fly. My parents attributed this to my strong imagination. Last year, my therapist called it a delusion. I failed to see the difference. Also, I really can fly and see the future and make stupid people leave coffee shops with my mind. 43% of the time. Sometimes I see people as colors. The point is, here's the list of things that my brain told me to do. Join a cult. Start a cult. Become a cabinet maker. Kill myself. So, in essence, become a cabinet maker. Break into and then paint other people's houses. Have sex with literally everyone. That reminds me of my mother. Fight animals that are much fucking fightier than me. Like bears. So, in essence, kill myself. I think a lot about killing myself. Not like a point on a map, but rather like a glowing exit sign in a show that's never been quite bad enough to make me want to leave. See, when I'm up, I don't kill myself because holy shit, there is so much left to do. And when I'm down, I don't kill myself because then the sadness would be over. And the sadness is my old pain under the new. The sadness is the house fire or the broken shoulder. I'd still be me without it, but I'd be so boring. You keep telling me seeing things that aren't technically there is called disturbed cognitive functioning. I call it having a superpower. Once, I pulled over on the freeway and jumped out of my old red Jeep because I saw it burst into flames 20 seconds before it actually burst into flames. I knew my girlfriend and I would be together because she turned bright pink the first time she saw me. I know tomorrow's gonna come because I've seen it. Sunrise is going to come. All you have to do is wake up. The future has been at war, but it's coming home so soon. The future is the map and the treasure. The future looks like a child in a cape. The future is just like gravity. Everyone is only drifting toward everyone else. We will all be part of each other one day. The future is a blue sky and a full tank of gas. I saw the future. I did. And in it, I was alive. Because